The U.S. government says they're enemies of the state, military prisoners at the U.S. base in Guantanamo, Cuba. Some have been held here for more than 6 years, suspected of involvement in acts of terror against the United States and legally outside the jurisdiction of U.S. courts. But Thursday's ruling throws a challenge to their continued incarceration. It gives detainees the right to ask for evidence, to call on witnesses, and even to ask a federal judge to set them free. Speaking to reporters at a news conference in Italy, President Bush reluctantly accepted the court's decision.
First of all, as to the Supreme Court decision, we'll abide by the court's decision. That doesn't mean I have to agree with it. It's a deeply divided court, and I strongly agree with those who dissented.
The dissenters, including Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Antonin Scalia, criticized the ruling as judicial activism and warned the nation would live to regret it. But civil rights advocates called Thursday's ruling a major step forward. Michael Ratner is president of the Center for Constitutional Rights in New York City.
I'm overjoyed, obviously. It took a much longer time than I would have wanted, but really I had tears in my eyes. I just think it's the most critical decision we've won in years, and hopefully begins to end, really, the excesses of the so-called war on terror of this administration.
Despite the court's ruling, the U.S. government says military trials for suspected terrorists at Guantanamo will proceed. The administration views the process as a valid alternative to the U.S. federal court system, partly because of the need to keep some evidence secret. But some say U.S. law should apply to all the detainees. Eugene Fidel is head of the National Institute of Military Justice in Washington.
More broadly, I think the importance of this case is that people around the world, as well as in the United States, will have seen our system at work, the primacy of law, our dedication to the rule of law, and I hope some emergence from the fairly deep hole into which we've been digging ourselves for the last 6 or 7 years.
For some, it's more complicated than that. Presumptive Republican presidential nominee John McCain says the court's decision is one of the worst in American history.
It obviously concerns me. These are unlawful combatants. They are not American citizens. But, and I think that we should pay attention to Justice Roberts' opinion in this decision.
Whether the ruling provides practical benefits to detainees remains to be seen. Vincent Warren, an attorney for one of the detainees, says the decision gives prisoners only the most basic constitutional rights.
What this decision means is that it's not a get-out-of-jail-free card, but it's simply an opportunity for these men to go before courts and judges to determine whether they are being held illegally or not.
The Guantanamo prison has been harshly criticized at home and abroad for the aggressive interrogations that have been conducted there. 270 men remain incarcerated in the military prison complex, including the self-proclaimed mastermind of the September 11th terrorist attacks. Arcega, VOA News.